Hello, hello. Do we have a Facebook audience for Lunchtime Live? I just opened up the room, ready for Lunchtime Live. Hopefully we have some folks joining us. I will wait till I can see a few numbers show up before I start talking. Thought I'd open with a shot of today's topic. Before I announce it, I will see if anyone knows. Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar with today's topic. Also, how is the sound? How is the sound? Hi, Mark. Thanks for joining us again. How's the sound today? I'd open with an opening shot of today's topic, and then I'll flip the camera back. See, sound is good. Awesome. We have a light wind, a cloudy but humid day here at the Tijuana Estuary. So if you're logging in now for Lunchtime Live, you're in the right spot. This is our weekly noon on Tuesday broadcast, focusing on a species. Thank you, Sonia. Hi. For here at the Tijuana River National Estuarine Research Reserve, or Tijuana Estuary for short. And I'm out here by the nursery on one of our very well-used trails. You can see there's what our day looks like. We have 2 or 3 individuals out here. The sacred Datura, or the gypsum weed, Datura wrightii. So if you've been here before, and after today's broadcast you want to visit us, you'll know where to go, right along this trail. So, hi folks, I'm Maria. I'm an education specialist here at the Tijuana Estuary who brings you Lunchtime Live along with Robin, and we are out here, we're ready to dig right in. So let me flip this back around and introduce Datura wrightii to you. And how many of you are familiar with this plant? You can see there's one back there and one right here. This is a native perennial to the Southwest and Baja. Hi, good afternoon, Cindy. There it is, growing, sprawling in sort of a sprawling and mounding form. Yes, Mark, this is something you may have seen before. It's quite distinct and very eye-catching. And we'll get the camera off the tripod and we'll get up close and personal, as we often do with the plant species. So there it is, Datura wrightii, growing 3 to 6 feet wide, sometimes known as weedy but very showy plant, and flowering this time of year. So let's get down and take a look. And if you have any questions or comments related to today's topic, please chime in, even if you're watching the recording later, because we go back and we answer them. We like our audience, we love our audience, and we hope you share this program with your friends and family. All right, there it is, Datura wrightii, also known as gypsum weed. Let's see, Sonia says I am, and I had one growing in my backyard. Yeah, they grow fairly easily. And you can see if you need something to sort of take over some space, this plant is a good one. All right, so let's get down up close and personal. Oh, wow, I'm seeing something I wasn't expecting. I'm gonna take a little pause here. Can you all see where is it? It's so hard to see right above. Oh my goodness, why is this so hard? I see a harlequin beetle. Oh, there it is. I see it. Hopefully you see it. You see that? And that's hanging off of a different plant that I wouldn't expect. But there's a harlequin beetle. Beautiful. We talked about these when we did the bladder pod episode. So if you want to go back and look at that, it's a beautiful bug, actually. Yeah, Donna. There it is. Beautiful harlequin beetle. Anyway, a nice bonus in today's episode of Datura wrightii, or sacred Datura gypsum weed, Many of us here just call it Datura. And you can see it's fairly lush with these large, sort of triangular shaped leaves, extremely soft, velvety. And I do have the macro lens with me today. Green in color, triangular. We can see the very distinct vein pattern on there. It's velvety, very velvety. What might cause that velvety texture? Does anyone know? Let's get the macro on here. Anyone? Yeah, beautiful. Yes, it is a beautiful beetle, that harlequin beetle. And there's always a little delay here, I know, but got the macro on here. So if you keep those comments and any questions coming, what might cause the leaves to be so velvety? Any guesses? It's so velvety, but I'm going to be very gentle with this. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Yes, Mark, hairs. There are those hairs again. And these hairs are very fine, whitish. I don't know if they're going to even show up. Oops, that's me. Sorry, I was trying to focus, which is a little bit challenging. But you might see them on the stem. So the stems, they're purplish, right, with that white, those white fine hairs, giving them that dusty appearance. So soft, so velvety. Now, does anyone know why I want to be careful? Think about why I might be careful touching this plant as we move on. So I mentioned this is a plant that's in bloom right now. So I'll back off for a minute. Those very eye-catching, showy white flowers. Now, about an hour ago, I was out here and these showy white trumpet-shaped flowers looked more like this. More like this. How many of you have seen the flowers of Datura look like this? This is when they're fully open. However, they're closing right now. This is a plant where the flowers open in the evening and close mid-morning. Close mid-morning. Tubular or trumpet-shaped flower, beautiful flower when it's open and when it's closed, but they start to look a little sort of wrinkly, like they're dehydrated, as if they need water. And they're starting to close. So this is a flower that attracts an evening pollinator, the sphinx moth, who it's said that they actually are almost addicted to the nectar of this flower and will hover around waiting for it to open. So many of us know moths, typically more common in the evening. So this is an evening opening, should I say, attractor of evening pollinators. Let's see. It looks like so Cindy has a question or a comment. Looks like the leaves go farther up on the branch. Okay, are those small local bees? You know, good question. So the leaves do go further up on the branch, further than some of the flowers, although these are maybe young branches. This is a perennial, so it'll die back and come back. And it really is more active this time of year. And it's a late summer, fall bloomer, right? And those are, I don't know if those are tiny bees or some sort of more, I don't know, flying kind of ant-like. They're not gnats. I'm not even sure what they are. And we'll get the macro back on there. There it is, and see. But yeah, they've been out here. Maybe it is a bee. I'm not any entomologists in the audience that might know what those are. Let's see if I can get the macro on our little insect friends. So you see white flower, purple tint to the flower with those pointed pointed edges say. And beautiful flower. Oops. Again, so beautiful, inspiring. Georgia O'Keeffe. Many of you might know the artwork of Georgia O'Keeffe, who had these growing around her property or patio, and inspired her to paint this in 1936. Called the gypsum weed. And it's apparently on display in Indianapolis Art Museum there. Beautiful, beautiful flower. Now again, I'll give it a scent or a smell. There's a faint smell there, but I want to be careful. Why do I want to be careful? Getting close to the flower. And here we also can see what the flowers look like when they're closed up. They're beautiful in a different way. See them all trumpet-shaped, closed up, ready for the evening, for blooming. All right, the plant also produces a fruit, like a capsule. You see it here. Spiky and green. I don't know why. There it is, maybe. Spiky and green, full of seeds. Yeah, Sonia, she got it. Talk about that in a minute when I sing I want to be careful. Right, so there it is, spiky fruit, fairly large, you can see in relation to my hand, full of seeds. Full of seeds. Yeah, so Julie says she's also heard it called loco weed. Right, so this is a plant that's extremely toxic, okay? It is called sacred Datura because its properties are psychedelic, but you don't need much. And I don't know, this is not from personal experience, how much is too much. This is a very, very powerful plant, sacred because Native Americans, they learned the right amounts. Maybe they learned the hard way, but how to use this plant, and all parts of the plant contain those properties of toxicity or psychedelic properties. So yes, loco weed might be a good name for it as well. And maybe lucky if you go loco, unlucky if you go even further than that. So, but I think all parts of the plant, seeds and roots, I think are probably the most dangerous. And even that beautiful trumpet-shaped flower is one that might leave you playing your last tune if you get too close. So the leaves have a smell. I think they smell like peanut butter if torn, not by just smelling them, but if you crumple them, they give a sort of a peanut butter like smell. Just being by the plant, you don't smell much, but if you break a leaf or stem, you may experience that smell to me, which is more like peanut butter. So it is sacred Datura, gypsum weed, Datura wrightii. Yeah. All right. Any other last questions or comment? Let's see. Marks agrees with me. Peanut butter for sure. Yeah. Strange, huh? That is one of the first things. I'm not from Southern California, but I learned about this plant relatively in my early days here at the Tijuana Estuary, and right away that was something I noticed. Peanut butter. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Flowering now, but one that flowers open probably most likely when we're asleep, or already having left for work. So we don't always get to enjoy the blooms. So let's see. I saw them. See, Bob says he saw them this past weekend along the trail in the estuary. Yes, which is where we are, along the trail towards the visitor center, going towards the visitor center with the nursery on the right. There are 2 individuals here and 1 further up the trail. They were known as loco weed, and were kept out of pastures. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so this is not a plant you want in your yard if you have nibblers, pets that are nibblers, because it'll be their last nibble, right? All right, so great questions and comments today. Let's see, I may have missed it, but does seed pods have a dispersal mechanism? Just the spikes? You know, very good question, Mark. I'm not sure. I'm looking. Okay, let's take a look again. Very good question. Underneath, now maybe this is from last year. I don't know if those are the seeds. You can see those large black, almost gravel-like things on the ground. Maybe those are seeds from the seed pods of last year. There is a seed pod open there. Very good question. Very good question. Let me look that up. That is interesting. I wasn't sure if they're toxic, you know, how do they get dispersed? And there we have an old seed pod on there. One right there, it's open. So I would say open and drop, but how do they get dispersed? Great question. Any other questions before I sign off today's Lunchtime Live? I'll just wait a minute. While I'm waiting for any last questions, I'd like to announce that this Saturday, August 21st, is the 50th anniversary of Borderfield State Park. Actually, the anniversary is I believe the 18th, but we're celebrating the first in-person event this Saturday at Monument Mesa Borderfield State Park from 1 to 4 p.m. Fairly low-key. We'll have booths with tables where you can meet retired rangers, speak with the Kumeyaay, get to know a new self-guided digital app and podcast that we've developed just for this celebration, and much more. So 1 to 4 this Saturday, Monument Mesa, Borderfield State Park, low-key yet very interesting event celebrating 50 years of Borderfield State Park. Yes, 50 years, dedicated in 1971 by Patricia Nixon. Well, she did the dedication. And so come learn a little bit about Borderfield from at your own pace, open house style booths, where you can talk to folks on a beautiful day, hopefully afternoon, on Monument Mesa. Wonderful views across the border and out to the Coronado Islands and back up north towards downtown. No place like it. All right, thanks everyone, and we hope you have a great rest of the day, and hopefully see you Saturday, and if not, Lunchtime Live next Tuesday. Tell your friends. Bye.